which is still around, but it is treatable, and you can protect yourself. This pandemic erupted long before the 1918 flu pandemic, the 2009 H1N1 pandemic, and the COVID-19 pandemic, which is ongoing. The plague being the pandemic that has hit the United States, even San Francisco in 1900. The agent that caused this is a bacterium called Yersinia pestis, which is usually spread from a flea bite. I think I already went over this slide. I do apologize for that. So let's go back to medieval times for a second. In the Mediterranean, the plague is spreading, and it's killing a lot of people in the medieval times. The plague kept in the Mediterranean for either one of two ways. Either it was the result of Mongols catapulting their plague corpses into Kaffa, like depicted in this picture, or two, as Caitlin Doty said, rats, which are everywhere, have fleas. Rats get the plague and are bitten by fleas. The rat dies, and the flea jumps to a human, bites them, and voila, the human has the plague. The plague was the first pandemic ever, and the treatments were weird.
You're still dirty.
Some of those treatments include boil lancing, burning aromatic herbs, bloodletting, and bathing in either rose water or vinegar. Another treatment, and was chopping up a recently deceased snake, it to pieces and rubbing it onto the buboes. And if that wasn't gross enough, they would take a live, healthy chicken, pluck its back and its butt clean, and put the feathers on the infected human with the chicken strapped on it. It was believed that once the chicken got it, you were cured. They also concocted a potion made up of spices, made up of hard cider, vinegar, or even wine with spices like sage, clove, rosemary, and wormwood, for instance. And that potion is still used in alternative medicine to this day. And I already talked about
Christian Johnson to the office,
Yes.
Christian.
A myth that needs to be debunked is that the poor were disproportionately affected by plague. The myth's origin comes from the fact that the poor people were around fleas and rats more, but the wealthy got it just as often as the poor did. Knights, royalty, merchants, you name it, people in the household got the plague as well. Historical records. You know, making those who survived their plague think they could overrule Parliament, which they did not have the power to do. You can protect yourself and your family from the bubonic plague these days by rodent-proofing your property, and you can do this by removing brush, rock piles, random junk you have lying around your house, firewood, and potential rodent food sources. You can also wear gloves when handling infected animals to protect yourself. And as always, please wash your hands. And this can help you protect yourself in contact with Yersinia pestis. You can also use these infected like off like I have on the slide. We can also use like cutter, repel, because those threads include DEET, which is it's commonly used as a mosquito repellent, but it can also but it's good at repelling fleas. You also can protect your pets by applying flea control products, as those who are free range could be bitten by those fleas, by fleas infected with Yersinia pestis, and as a result develop bubonic plague themselves. So, in conclusion, the bubonic plague is caused by Yersinia pestis, which usually comes from a flea bite. The medieval people thought they could chop snakes up and rub them on the buboes as a result of the bubonic plague. It's treatable and preventable now thanks to advancement of medical knowledge and medical science. I hope this speech informed you about the plague. In medieval Europe was very disastrous, killing lots of people, and giving the Mongols a prototype for biological warfare. Any questions?
Good job.
Good job.